Alright. Shalom, Yabashima Hawashai, Bashima Kakodash Bakata. Double honors unto the apostles of Good Milestone. Salutations unto the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank on. Alright, this is Yatazaki bringing some more message through the spirit and power of Yabashima Hawashai. Alright, so this could be dealing with these banks in America, their financial the financial market, the money crisis now. The banking system is crumbling because America is high. They have a high debt to pay. So maybe after the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank on Friday, another bank just shut down. Regulators today abruptly closed Signature Bank. It has offices throughout New York and Connecticut, citing. After the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank on Friday, another bank just shut down. Regulators today, Silicon Valley Bank on Friday, another bank just shut down. Regulators today abruptly closed Signature Bank. It has offices throughout New York and Connecticut.
Citing systemic risk, regulators shut down Signature Bank Sunday. The company told us no comment. The New York-based full-service commercial bank has 40 private client offices.
This is a byproduct of what we saw with Silicon Valley Bank. Uninsured depositors at any bank could start stampeding to their bank to take money out.
The Wall Street Journal reported that Signature was reeling from a bet on crypto banking. Earlier Sunday, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen addressed the FDIC seizing control of California-based Silicon Valley Bank on Friday. It's the second largest bank collapse in U.S. history and is already affecting tech businesses it financed, including Roblox, Etsy, and Roku. It sparked alarm about reverberations amid rising interest rates.
I've been working all weekend with our banking regulators to design appropriate policies to address this situation.
Hi, welcome back to Joe Blogs. In today's video, I want to talk about the fate.
Alright, so America economy is collapsing. It's going down the drain. Alright. America is going on the drain.
Hi, article reads, America's Best Banks. An entity by the name of Silicon Valley Bank was ranked number 20 and has been on the list for 5 years in a row. Founded in 1983, SVB was the 16th largest bank in the United States and had over $209 billion in assets. Yet, in a few short weeks, the bank would go up in flames over the course of a couple of days.
Silicon Valley Bank's collapse set off a panic not seen since the days of the financial meltdown of 2008.
The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank is causing shockwaves across the entire business world.
With the FDIC now in control, customers can access up to $250,000 on Monday. But as ABC's Jacqueline Lee explains, that's not enough for many companies left struggling to manage their finances.
This weekend, clients of Silicon Valley Bank are scrambling and imploring the federal government to step in to help recover uninsured deposits over $250,000. It's the largest bank failure since the financial crisis of 2008.
The crash created a cascade of events. Some smaller regional banks lost the majority of their valuation, and another has since collapsed. Companies such as Roblox, Vox Media, and a whole host of Silicon Valley startups are scrambling to find the cash to pay their employees. Meanwhile, the UK government is at work trying to minimize the effects of the crash. And at the same time, the rest of the economy is trying to figure out what the long-term consequences of this disaster may be. This is the largest bank failure since 2008 and the second largest in history. But how did a bank go from making the list of the best banks to bankrupt in less than a month? What happens next? Is this the start of another financial crisis? Maybe not, but there are some risks. What everyone seems to have missed in this story is that it's more of a cautionary tale of mismanagement, incompetence, and political lobbying. The bank's parent company, its CEO and CFO are all being sued for fraud, and the CEO lobbied Congress to remove the very laws that would have prevented this crash in the first place. This whole thing is a crazy story, so let's get into it.
Yeah, so
banks starting to collapse, you know. America is crumbling down. So when the money runs out, um, yeah, this is book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and 12. It say, for wisdom is a defense as money is a defense. Alright. But the excellence of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to those who have it. Alright. So Ecclesiastes 10 and 19, it say, a feast is meet for laughter, and wine makes merry, but money answereth everything. Alright. So money answers everything. Alright. Yeah, money now. A lot of your problems, you know, you could deal with it with money. Physically speaking about, yeah. So when Esau car fine, when he saw, you know, money, or the financial crash and things happen, that's gonna escalate in more war. Alright? It's gonna escalate into more war. You know? So that is what we have coming to the world. War. Alright? So right now Esau right now he's at the, you know, he's at his end. This is basically the end of Esau age that we are living in right now, the end of his rulership. The scripture says, for the wickedness against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. You know, why banks are collapsing. Aha. Oh yes. Hold on.
Governments around the world are itching to develop their own central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, and today more than 90% of all central banks are working on them. Not surprisingly, the development of CBDCs has accelerated during the crypto bear market. Over the last few months, dozens of countries have made progress towards their collective end goal of total currency control. That's why I'm going to give you a quick recap of what CBDCs are, bring you up to speed on their development in most regions, and tell you why existing CBDC projects suggest they will not succeed. As the name suggests, a central bank digital currency, or CBDC, is a digital currency that's issued by a country's central bank. There are actually two types of CBDC: wholesale CBDCs, which will be used by select individuals and institutions, and retail CBDCs, which will be used by regular folks like you and me. In other words, there will be two CBDC systems, one for the people in power and one for the rest of us. The CBDC developments I'll be discussing today pertain to retail CBDCs. This is because existing research by central banks about retail CBDCs suggest they will have some seriously dystopian qualities. These include controlling how much you can save, how much you can spend, and where you can spend it. If you watched our video about the difference between CBDCs and cryptocurrencies, you'll know that the two are polar opposites. CBDCs allow the government to control your money, whereas crypto puts you in control. You control how much you save, how much you spend, and where. And remember, the ability to truly own your assets and decide how they are used is the real definition of financial freedom. You could have trillions of dollars of CBDC in your account, but you will never be truly in control of that money, nor any assets that trade against CBDCs, which will eventually be most of them. As I mentioned in the introduction, almost every single central bank is working on a CBDC of some kind. The reasons why they're developing CBDCs vary from country to country. For retail CBDCs, the reasons tend to relate to control. For wholesale CBDCs, the reasons tend to relate to convenience and cost. As you might have guessed, most countries are focusing on the development of retail CBDCs. This is basically because their financial systems have become so unstable that the only way to keep them intact is by controlling every transaction in the economy. This has been openly admitted to by some central banks. Now,
so if you guys out there and wake up to this Esau beanie devil, alright, you guys just asleep. Right, that just shows that the spirit not with it not within you. See, all this happening in the world, they're bringing in the new currency. Just read that money answer it all, everything. Alright, money answer it everything. So Esau know what he's doing. He's putting you in, he's going to put you, your back is going to be against the wall very soon, and you're going to have a choice to make. Alright? And either it will be the CHIP, or you choose to walk down the path of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So you better make that choice soon. Alright, so I'm going to end this video right here. Kala Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakodash, Shalom Kalakiam.